and welcome to Justice Losers, the most unqualified podcast exploring irrelevant questions about entertainment, namely movies, TVs, and comics. I'm your host, Preston, joined as always by my delightful co-host,
Matt.
Matt, what should people do?
Irrelevant questions. I mean, like, subscribe, tell a friend. Check us out at remproductions.net.
remproductions.net. Go listen to last episode explaining what all that's about.
Yeah.
Content week. Matt.
Preston.
What motivates a good hero? That's our topic today. What motivates...
Money.
What motivates a well-written hero?
Oh, I think there's a whole variety of things.
Yeah, let's talk about it. What are you thinking? What are you thinking when you think of a well-written hero? Motivation.
Mostly trauma.
Trauma is a big one.
No, it is an effective one. I mean, like we all know and hate the woman in the fridge trope.
Oh,
but
God, I hate it.
That can be a motivation, like vengeance, and even as an outgrowth of that, you could take like Batman's sort of mythic quest to make sure that no one else has to go through what he went through.
Right. Well, where is vengeance done right and where is it done wrong? Let's talk about vengeance specifically and how we can make vengeance be a motivation for a hero and not delve into anti-hero. Because Batman kind of toes that line.
A little bit. And I think it's his code probably that keeps him on the right side there. Because when you said vengeance, my immediate thought was Punisher.
Right.
We'll save him for the anti-hero episode. But
and so how do you write or how do you write whatever vengeance in a way that it feels like it's vengeance? I don't traditionally view Batman as a vengeance hero because he's not, with the exception of tracking down Joe Chill, who's the person who killed his family.
Right.
It's something that is more, I want to improve the society that I grew up in, that put me through what I did.
Yeah.
I don't want someone to go through this. It's not a vengeance on, because I think that's what changes that difference of what vengeance is versus societal improvement.
Yeah.
Because I see how that kind of that's a gray area between the two.
Yeah, it's all just outgrowths of response to trauma.
So how do you do vengeance in a hero?
Maybe you don't. Maybe vengeance just makes you an anti-hero.
Begets anti-hero, yeah. Because how many are there any heroes that are vengeance driven? Because I mean, vengeance is a really hard one to clearly define. Because I mean, you could argue that like the rebels in Star Wars Episode 4 are all going for vengeance because they blew up Alderaan. Yeah. So let's go blow them up. Like,
but that's never the theme of it in the movie. They never say that. There's just we're going to take down the evil empire because they're the evil empire.
Right. And is that a form of vengeance?
No.
Or is that a form of societal improvement?
Societal improvement. Yeah.
Okay.
All the way there.
There's no vengeance there.
The next vengeance example that came to mind for me was John Wick.
Yeah. But is he kind of an anti-hero or is he a hero?
Oh, totally. He's an anti-hero.
We talked specifically, like, just now about Woman in the Fridge. That's vengeance, but, like, they're still, like, I guess you can motivate, like, I guess vengeance doesn't necessarily have to mean killing.
True.
It could be someone who's like, I want to take revenge on this person for killing my wife by putting them in jail. Like, it's justice.
Yeah.
The moral dilemma between vengeance and justice.
I think vengeance can be a motivating factor for your hero, but not their overriding factor.
I was just getting around that. We're on the same brain.
Same wavelength.
Does it consume them? Is that, I guess, the question that let it if. So you've got a clearly defined goal, and if you go and you achieve that vengeance you avenge the person that you're intending to avenge. And then you're done. Like you've done it. You are more of a hero. But like, but then what about the heroes that like I'm gonna avenge my sister for being killed by this man. This man happens to be part of a large organization of people that are also killing other people. That goes from vengeance to societal improvement because it's like so.
Yeah. So storytelling wise, vengeance can lead to justice. I mean, there's character growth there. There's the strictly personal, almost visceral reaction of, I need to get revenge on this person. Just basic human animal level instinct to, okay, I have to look beyond myself see the forest for the trees.
I have to work societally. I have to work largely to improve. If you start it with vengeance, they need to grow into, I have more to do.
Right.
So that other people don't go through what I've done. I need to protect people because I've been a victim of, or someone I know or care about has been a victim of whatever this oppression or murder or syndicate, whatever is going on is. What else? What's another...
Well, Batman has been enduringly popular for 80 years at this point. 80 pushing 80.
82.
Yeah. Superman's been popular about as long. Truth, Justice, and the American Way.
Yeah.
Point the second.
So he's not driven by trauma.
No.
Mostly. It depends on if you're the gritty reboot where his parents were killed in a car wreck or whatever.
Sure.
But
because that's what we need.
I've always liked that his parents are still around. I mean, like, they'll die of old age, but it's not a thing. And it's he's genuinely driven by, I just want to protect people. Like, people are good, and there are things that exist. Like, I'm just going to do what I can.
Yeah.
I love that one. It's just so wholesome, and just like, it allows for so much more character growth, because you can go to the jaded route where someone came in all bright-eyed and mystified on like, I'm gonna be a hero, and then like they discover some grueling human realities. A good hero has good character growth, right? So how do you give character growth? You give them a dark side that they discover.
Yep.
Like,
so how do you do it well?
That's a good question.
You challenge their faith.
You challenge their faith so that they come out more like
resolute,
but also I think that they have a different context to it. A good way of doing that would be maybe having something that, like their mantra they have at the beginning, that they just say like, I'm going to bullshit something like,
this is going to be great. Stay tuned.
All humans have humor. I don't know. Like something, or like all humans, like something like that. And then
I love it.
They go through something where it's challenged, and they come out with a different understanding where they can say the same exact words, but they now have different understanding of what that means. So we can just say like, all humans are strong, and you get a conflict where people are put through like a grueling process, and you see people break, and it challenges like, oh, these humans aren't strong. Like it's being alien,
right.
Like a Superman thinks like all humans are strong inherently, and he watches like someone like him break them down, and they just have them broken. But then you defeat them, and like the human race endures, and it's like his perspective on humans are strong isn't humans individually may be fragile, but the human race is strong. It's like, it's a different understanding, different perspective on their mantra that they've learned through that challenging. So they believe it more firmly, more resolutely, because they have a deeper understanding of what that actually means because of a new perspective.
So eternal optimism, sort of?
Yeah. Eternal and fluid. Fluid and eternal optimism is kind of what that is, what drives that hero, is they have their view that they do heroic things under, but it gives them that room that they can grow with it while continuing to do hero things with that through line of character.
Yeah.
What else? What else you got? What else motivates a hero to go and be heroic?
Sometimes people are motivated to heroism by the circumstances that are thrust upon them. Hey, here's a lightsaber. Your aunt and uncle are murdered. Let's go kill the Darth Vader.
I mean, okay, let's talk about Luke Skywalker a little bit. Let's see where he kind of fits into it, because I feel like he kind of fits into vengeance. Or not really.
Not really, because...
Why does he go?
He wanted to go in the first place. He wanted to go out, and he wanted to see the world, and he just
wanted to help with the
wide-eyed adventurer in all of us. He didn't want to help with the rebellion. He wanted to join the Imperial Academy. So he wants to get out. He wants to get away. He's the wide-eyed dreamer in all of us, and the little kid that wants to shoot for the stars, and maybe have a war in the stars. And circumstances prevail upon him. All of his attachments are ripped away from him. Everything he knows and loves, and his eyes are opened to the realization that there's an enemy out there, and he has a quest placed before him. This is sounding really hero's journey. Monomyth.
It is.
Kind of stuff here.
Yeah.
Sometimes heroism is not something you set out to do. Sometimes heroism is thrust upon you.
Yes. Frodo.
Beat me to it.
He didn't want to go to Mordor.
Nope.
He just kind of got a ring and was like, time to run away.
Inherited the ring, and Gandalf said, hey, we got to get this to Rivendell. You're the man for the job. I mean, the hobbit for the job.
What makes it compelling? Because if you just get little Timmy who just like needs to go and deliver a mail packet to his neighbor, like, what about a story where a mom just says, hey, I need you to give this package to the neighbor? Like a little short story of just like, as an adventure has been thrust on our hero Timmy. What makes that kind of thing compelling? Because we have two very compelling examples, Luke and Frodo.
Yeah.
But, like, how can that be done poorly? Because the question is, what motivates a well-written hero?
Yes, indeed. So I think it's the way it works and makes it compelling is it's that sense of meeting the challenge, rising to the challenge, accomplishing the thing. I mean, it's little kids. It's always really satisfying for them to like help out with something or do something, and like, parents will have them help out with little things or something, and kids are like, yeah, I did it. I did a big grown up thing.
Yeah.
And so seeing someone with a seemingly insurmountable challenge, hey, Luke, you're a farm boy. Take down the entire empire
with one torpedo.
It's the mother of all challenges, but you're like, I can do this. I can fight this. I can overcome. I can be the greatest that there ever was. I can catch them all and pass the test.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. It's compelling when the quest is something that is just like, so it's not mom handing the letter to Timmy to go take it to his neighbor. It's mom telling Timmy to take the giant package that's twice his size to the neighbor that like has a really rambunctious dog.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my God, how's he going to do this?
Yeah. You set him a difficult challenge and you struggle with them.
Okay. Give me one more.
I'm thinking there's a few that are sort of like intersections between some of these or halfway points. I'm thinking of like the protectiveness aspect, like Quiet Place. It's been on my mind.
Yeah.
Where it's not
survival.
Yeah, and it's kind of okay, circumstances are thrust upon you like that, but it's less of rising to the challenge and more of
it's not an insurmountable quest that you go and achieve a thing.
Right.
Like take down the Empire, destroy the ring. It's Quiet Place. You still haven't seen Nomadland, because that's one that like because when I say hero, we kind of generally mean protagonist.
Yeah.
Broadly speaking.
Yep.
And so I think survival is one of its own things where it's like there's not a thing that you can finish. Like there is kind of an ultimate, I guess, goal of I have survived so long that I am now thriving. But a hero, The Road. You've seen The Road.
I've read the book.
You've read the book. Okay. Probably even better. There's no quest for them. It's all survival. It's just let's just stay alive. One of them does it better than the other.
Oh snap. He went there.
Spoiler for The Road. It's purely survival. It doesn't have an end.
Yeah.
There can be a light at the end of the tunnel. Most of them usually do. I mean, like zombie survival, like Walking Dead. All of the heroes is just survival. There's no end goal. And I think that like A Quiet Place is one of those. Yeah. There's no end goal. The problem with something like The Walking Dead, it is a recurring survival that you need to constantly amp up the stakes.
Yeah.
And so you bring in humans who were smarter, and then it stops becoming a survival thing and more becoming a let's kill things.
Yeah. I was thinking of, good zombie movies like 28 Days Later.
Right.
But even that, it eventually just becomes, okay, bad humans now.
Right. And I think a survival is... I think it's really hard to do a reoccurring survival.
Mm-hmm.
Like a perpetual survival, because naturally the point of a survival story, I guess we are talking about like a story, you have a hero, a survival, is the point is that like they rise to the challenge. They learn skills that makes them survive better, to where at the end of the story you say they've got it from here.
Right.
Like that's kind of the vibe you get at the end of a good survival thing.
Mm-hmm.
Bad survival thing is like there is none of that. Like it's just like either like they're alive and we still don't know if they're going to survive very long, or you just keep going with it and it's just going to become Negan. Which, great villain, but that's what The Walking Dead's become. What is a hero that is that their motivation of survival need to have in order for it to be a compelling hero?
Certain sort of relentlessness, like just I'm going to get the job right and I'm going to do the job right every time, because if I don't, my family dies because they played Monopoly wrong.
Okay, well that's a Quiet Place. I got that joke, but that's a really important piece of it is that it's not only just for you. I think a compelling hero needs to survive for someone else.
Okay.
Or for something else. The Road. Spoilers for The Road. Hot man Viggo Mortensen needs to survive for his son. Quiet Place. Jim needs to survive for... Don't know anyone else that his kids are in. I don't think there have been anything else.
Yeah.
Have they been anything else?
Noah Jupe is in The Undoing. And like 6 other things.
Yeah. Okay.
He's in everything.
He needs to survive for his kids. I mean, zombie films. Well, okay. So what? 28 Days Later. I haven't seen it all the way through. Okay. I know it's Cillian Murphy. What does he need to survive for? What's his
triumph of the human spirit? He does. Honestly, it's just like, I'm alive. Not many other people are. Let's just keep going.
It's still a good story.
I mean, yeah, there's something to that. There's kind of a split there where it's more of just like the instinctive.
I think it's it depends on the character, because I think that there are characters who, if it weren't for the people or things that they need to survive for, they would just resign themselves to the death. But like a character like Cillian Murphy's character is more self-driven and has more value in himself and just perpetuating humanity.
Right.
Meanwhile, other characters, while like they might not just survive for themselves. Well, I mean, that's a great example. The 2 heroes that I just mentioned, they're surviving for other people, and they also end up sacrificing themselves in some way. So it is, it's either in a survival sense, either for just, damn it, I'm going to live, or there is someone that they need to survive for, and they will ultimately end up sacrificing themselves as a hero. So a sacrificial survival, or death be damned survival. I think those are the kind of 2 elements of that.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm
satisfied with that.
Cool.
Thesisize us?
Thesisize us. We got a lot of heroes out there.
There are a lot of heroes out there.
And some of the heroes, I mean, if you're going to have a well-written, this is kind of the underlying point that we've alluded to but haven't really talked about. If you're going to have a hero that you sympathize about and care about and you want them to succeed in their story, you got to believe their motivation to some extent.
Right.
Some of these believable and we feel effective motivations can be satiable vengeance or vengeance into justice. There is the eternal but fluid optimism. There's rising to the challenge, facing down your quest. And then there is survival, both on the category of survival as protector, or ensuring the survival of others, and survival as individual, just dug on human stubbornness.
If you think that there are other motivations that you think don't fit into these categories, tell us by Gmail or Instagram, or maybe I'll throw it on an Instagram story, something like that.
Sure.
And then if there are enough compelling ones that we think we could talk about extensively, we might do a part 2 with all of those.
Part 2, crowdsource edition.
Yeah.
Hey everyone, Matt here. Hope you've been enjoying this video. If you want to hear the fuller version of this discussion, you can find that on our audio-only podcast. That's going to be wherever you listen to your podcasts, be it SoundCloud or Spotify or iTunes or iHeartRadio. Appreciate you watching this far, and we hope you listen on further.